Husband's sister was killed and he wants to take in her 2 kids, but I was hurt badly as a child and forced to raise 7 siblings, so I can't live with children. Now he says he'll divorce me if I don't let them move into my house. My husband Torin and I had been married for 11 years. We'd agreed before we got married that we would never have kids. I'd told him everything, how my mother left when I was 9, how my father drank and vanished for weeks at a time, how I raised my 7 younger siblings from age 10 to age 19, cooking, bathing, breaking up fights, sitting up all night with sick ones, missing every school dance and every friendship because if I left the house someone would end up hurt. How I finally moved out at 19 and slept for 2 months and cried in a therapist's office for 3 years. How the sound of a child crying still made my chest lock up. How I couldn't be around kids for more than an afternoon without shaking. Torin had said, "I understand. I don't need kids. I have you." He'd said it at our engagement dinner. He'd said it at our vow renewal at year 5. His sister Ilaria was killed in a hit and run in October. She was 34. She had 2 children, a 7-year-old named Bex and a 4-year-old named Wisp. Their father wasn't in the picture. Ilaria's will named Torin as the guardian. Torin hadn't known. Nobody had known. He came home from the lawyer's office and sat down across from me at the kitchen table and cried for 20 minutes before he could speak. Then he said, "They're moving in. I already told the lawyer yes." I couldn't breathe. "You didn't ask me." I couldn't say no. She was my sister. I understand, but you couldn't have said yes without me either. He didn't answer. He said the kids would be here in 10 days. I called my therapist that night. She got me on the phone within an hour. We talked for 2 hours. She helped me lay out what I needed to say. I said it to Torin the next morning. I told him I loved him. I told him what happened to Ilaria was a tragedy, and I would help him fund anything he needed. I told him I could pay for a live-in nanny. I could pay for a second apartment for him and the kids so they could stay in the same school district. I could pay for therapy for all 3 of them, but I could not have children living in my house. Not 1 child, not 2, not for a summer, not for a week. I told him I had spent 30 years building a life where I could sleep through the night and eat dinner alone and not flinch when someone slammed a door, and I could not undo that for anyone, including him, including his sister's kids, and I was sorry. He said, "Then I'll divorce you." I said, "Okay." He said, "You're seriously choosing this over the kids?" I said, "I'm choosing not to break. If I break, I'm no good to anyone, including them." He slept in the guest room that night. The next morning, I called my sister Marisol, the oldest of the ones I'd raised. She was a pediatric nurse now, married with a husband who worked from home. She lived 40 minutes away. I told her everything. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "I'll take them. Me and Danilo have been trying. This is not how I wanted it, but if Torin agrees, we'll take them and you can be their aunt from across town the way you were mine." I called Torin at his hotel. I told him what Marisol had offered. He didn't say anything for a full minute. Then he said, "Why would she do that?" I said, "Because I raised her. Because she knows what it did to me. Because she has a nursery already painted." He came home that night. He met with Marisol and Danilo the next day. He met with the lawyer the day after. Marisol and Danilo were named co-guardians alongside Torin by the end of the week. Bex and Wisp moved into Marisol's house 8 days later. Torin keeps a room there. He stays 4 nights a week. He comes home to me the other 3. Some weeks he only comes home 1. I don't ask him to choose. He hasn't asked me to change my mind. On Sundays, I drive to Marisol's with a bag of groceries and sit on the porch while the kids play in the yard. I don't go inside. Wisp waves at me from the swing set and I wave back. Bex asked Marisol one time why I don't come in, and Marisol told him, "Auntie loves you from the porch. That's where her love lives." Bex thought about it and said, "Okay." Torin told me about that in bed that night, whispering it in the dark because he thought I might cry. I did cry, but not the way I used to.